Dubai, one of the richest cities in the world. Skyscrapers piercing the sky, luxury cars lining the streets, and a lifestyle that feels like a movie. In the middle of this golden city, one man stood out, known to millions online as Hushpuppi. He wore designer's clothes worth more than most people's yearly salaries. He dined in the most expensive restaurants, he posed in private jets, and packed his fleet of Rolls-Royce, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis for the world to see. To his 2.5 million Instagram followers, Hushpuppi looked like the ultimate success story. But behind the glitz and glamour was a dark truth, one that would lead to one of the most shocking fraud cases of the decade. This is the story of how Ramon Abbas, better known as Hushpuppi, went from luxury to prison. Ramon Abbas was born in 1982 in Lagos, Nigeria. Unlike the life he later showed on Instagram, his early days were far from glamorous. He grew up in a modest neighborhood, raised by parents who struggled to make ends meet. As a teenager, Ramon dreamed of escaping poverty. Like many young Nigerians, he looked at wealth as the ultimate ticket to respect, power, and freedom. By mid-2000s, he had left Nigeria searching for opportunities abroad. Eventually, he found himself in Malaysia, a country where many Nigerians chase business dreams. But Hushpuppi's path wasn't built on traditional business. Instead, it was built on something much darker. While his exact beginnings remain mysterious, one thing is clear. By the early 2010s, he had started showing off a new lifestyle online. Instagram became his stage, with perfectly edited photos, expensive outfits, and captions about success. He built an image of a man who had made it. Unlike most influencers who sell a product or a brand, Hushpuppi sold a dream of sudden riches, limitless luxury, and effortless success. And people loved it. His follower count grew into the millions. Fans called him the billionaire Gucci master because of the obsession with Gucci clothes and accessories. He wasn't just flaunting wealth, he was flaunting an identity. But where was the money coming from? Behind the designer clothes and luxury cars, investigators say Hushpuppi was running some of the biggest internet scams in the world. His schemes often involved something called business email compromise, or BEC. It's a kind of cyber fraud where criminals hack or impersonate a company's email accounts, tricking employees into sending money to the wrong bank accounts. For example, imagine a company wiring millions of dollars to what they think is a supplier, but instead, the money goes straight into the scammer's account. According to the FBI, Hushpuppi and his network of associates targeted companies around the globe, sometimes stealing hundreds of thousands, even millions in a single deal. But he didn't stop there. Reports show he also engaged in identity theft, romance scams, and real estate fraud. One shocking case involved attempting to steal more than $100 million from a business deal linked to an English Premier League football club. Another targeted a law firm in the United States, costing the victims nearly $1 million. It was fraud on a global scale, and while most scammers hide, Hushpuppi was doing the opposite, living in luxury and broadcasting it daily to the world. By the late 2010s, Hushpuppi had relocated to Dubai. For him, it was the perfect stage. Dubai is a city built on wealth, extravagance, and status. For someone like Hushpuppi, who measured success in designer brands and fast cars, it was paradise. His Instagram feed became even more outrageous. Private jets, $150,000 watches, diamond-encrusted accessories, and dinners costing thousands of dollars. He was rubbing shoulders with celebrities, athletes, and musicians. Nigerian pop stars, American rappers, and even football players appeared in photos with him. To the outside world, he looked like a global entrepreneur. He told fans he was in the real estate business. He even claimed to be an influencer. But behind the scenes, international investigators were watching closely. His lifestyle didn't add up. No legitimate business was generating that kind of money. And Dubai, despite its image, was not untouchable. The city had strict agreements with US law enforcement when it came to cybercrime and fraud. Hushpuppi's days of freedom were numbered.
Hands up now. Get down on the floor.
It all came crashing down in June 2020. In a dramatic late-night raid, Dubai police stormed Hushpuppi's luxury apartment at the Palazzo Versace, a five-star hotel residence. The operation was named Fox Hunt 2. More than a dozen officers moved in, seizing laptops, hard drives, and even phones filled with evidence. They found records of 1.9 million people's email addresses. They found hundreds of files linked to fraud schemes worth more than $400 million. The news spread quickly. Videos of his arrest went viral online. For millions of fans who had idolized him, it was shocking. From luxury penthouse to handcuffs, the fall was swift and brutal. Soon after, he was extradited to the United States to face trial.
Dubai police have once again solved yet another case involving an international online scammer known as Ramon Abbas, but who goes by Hushpuppi on social media platforms. After months of investigating and hours of monitoring the gang's social media accounts, a team of highly trained Dubai police officers were able to confirm the gang's whereabouts and fraudulent activities.
In America, the charges were serious. Hushpuppi was accused of laundering tens of millions of dollars through global fraud schemes. The FBI released detailed reports showing how he and his partners carried out attacks on companies and individuals across multiple countries. In 2021, Hushpuppi pleaded guilty. He admitted to conspiring to launder money through business email compromise and other scams. Prosecutors said his crimes were not just about money. They hurt real people, businesses that lost their savings, workers who lost jobs, families who suffered financial ruin. Hushpuppi's image as a flashy social media star was stripped away. In court, he was no longer the Gucci master. He was a criminal facing serious prison time. In November 2022, the judgment came down. Ramon Abbas was sentenced to 11 years in a U.S. federal prison. He was also ordered to pay $1.7 million in restitution to his victims. For someone who once bragged about living in penthouse and flying in private jets, the reality was harsh. His new home will be a prison cell. From Louis Vuitton bags to prison uniforms, from Rolls-Royce to prison food. It was the ultimate fall from grace. The story of Hushpuppi is more than just the story of one man. It's a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed, the power of social media, and the reality of cybercrime. In a world obsessed with luxury, many young people looked up to him, believing wealth at any cost was the dream. But his story showed the other side, the cost of shortcuts and the reality behind the filters. It also highlights how global fraud affects everyone, From billion-dollar companies to small businesses, cybercrimes destroys trust and lives. Hushpuppi thought he was untouchable, but in the end, the very lifestyle he flaunted online became his downfall. He made himself a target, he showed too much, and when the police came knocking, there was no escape. Hushpuppi once told his fans, "Work hard, stay humble, and your time will come." But in reality, his story was built on lies. From Lagos to Dubai, from luxury to prison, his life became a global lesson, one that proves wealth without honesty is just an illusion. And when the illusion fades, all that is left is the truth. Every story reminds us that truth always catches up. If this story shocked you, share it. Someone else might need to hear it too. Stay safe, stay curious, and I will see you in the next one.